When I think about what it means to live a good life, a few things come up for me. First of all, being my capacity to provide for myself. Second of all, my capacity to provide for those around me. And third of all, being my capacity for peace while providing for myself and those around me. And I think the only way that I'm able to optimize that or to do that to its fullest extent is through attempting, at the very least, to go down this path of self-mastery and wanting to be able to develop myself to an extent to which I am reaching my potential. I'm doing the most that I can to being able to get the most out of whatever it is that I'm doing. And one of the reasons that I find this so inspirational and helpful for me is that it provides a context, it provides a framework for encountering really whatever happens in my life. And as far as prioritization goes, it gives me a certain set of requirements that certain things have to meet to being able to make the list or to move their way up the list. But it also gives me a very clear set of ideals to strive for each and every day in the moments where I might not feel like doing my best or doing more than I think I can. I have this underlying foundation that allows me to lean on it when I might get a little bit fuzzy on what my purpose is for the day or what I'm wanting to achieve. I think moving towards self-mastery and practicing the habits of self-mastery as much as we possibly can is one of, if not the best ways to not only enrich ourselves, but enrich our environment and those in it. Whether you're wanting to improve your discipline through a new voluntary restriction, or you're wanting to further your compassion for a person or a situation through empathy and understanding. All of these things stem from this desire, or more so this prioritization of the betterment of oneself. And I think unfortunately too many times people might take this as the opposite of self-acceptance, or that for some reason we are just simply not happy with ourselves enough and we should strive for contentment as compared to improvement. And I think unfortunately that is a misguided approach to this problem of self-image, or this question of who we're wanting to be and how we're wanting to be. I feel that the responsibility we have not only to ourselves but also to our environment is to reduce suffering as much as possible. And one of the best ways to reduce suffering is to improve our competence, is to improve our capacity to deal with situations. And if we are finding ourselves to be incapable, if we are finding ourselves to be weak individuals, then we just simply don't have the option of a different choice, the option of changing our circumstances or to change the circumstances of other people that might be finding themselves worse off than they could be. It is not a bad thing to recognize that we have certain deficiencies or areas that need to be taken care of. That's, in my opinion, actually a much more courageous thing to do than to simply sugarcoat it or to simplify it as, well, it's fine, don't worry about it, you're perfect the way you are. I think there is a very distinct difference between one being self-acceptance and one being the pursuit of your potential. And I think you can have both. It's not like they're mutually exclusive. You can simultaneously accept yourself, and you have to accept yourself. This process of recognizing your deficiencies is actually self-acceptance, because you're finally choosing to see what is actually there. Whereas if you're blinding yourself to the reality, that is actually the opposite of self-acceptance. That's self-denial to a large extent. And so then to being able to move through that into fulfilling your potential, it's necessary to know where you are. And so from that point, you're able to take the steps necessary to get there, to get to where you're wanting to be, to get to where you could be. This whole endeavor is simply a kind of check or insurance that we don't waste our lives, because we have such an incredible opportunity to experience the magnitude of what life has to offer, to be a part of these phenomenally meaningful interactions with others and ourselves. And we want to be the best we can in every one of those situations, in every one of those circumstances. And for me, I found the answer to be self-mastery. Now, if you've made it this far into the video, then you've obviously resonated with at least something I've said. And if that's the case, then you may get some value from the server I just made on Discord to try to bring all of us together to have a kind of community platform for some more two-way communication as compared to just me speaking to a camera. So if that sounds good to you, then I look forward to seeing you there. Otherwise, as always, thanks for watching, thanks for being here, and do more than you think you can.